Hi, welcome to another episode of High Quality Quizable Content. Today I'm going to be making a 2019-2020 high school Housewrite name tier list. So starting off in S tier is Blast. So Blast, it's a very cool, explosive word. It's exactly what it says. It's an academic spring tournament written by members of an online school called Beer Sly. And that's a major plus in my book, conforming to exactly what it is. Aside from that, it also uses the academic spring tournament as its ending. Ending with tournament is always a plus. It's a classic form, sets in the past, like list, cast. There are countless sets that have used this form, and I think it's very cool to use the form, but also add a little bit of a twist on it that still stays true to what the set is, but also has a very cool name, like Blast. So, second in S tier, these are unordered tiers, but Blast is my number one overall, is Prison Bowl. Now, Prison Bowl, written by Hunter High School, I think this is a very cool name. It's very daunting, conveys the imagery of like an iron prison, the iron prison that is Hunter High School, Hunter College High School. So aside from that, harkening to the nickname of the school, ending with bowl is a plus in my book. It's not as good as ending with tournament, due to a number of reasons. It just doesn't flow as well, but I still think that ending with bowl is good, and it's a very cool name. Even when I was, bad at Quiz Bowl, I was thinking, oh man, Prison Bowl, sick as fuck. So anyway, third in S tier is HFT. So HFT, the Harvard Fall Tournament, I think this is very concise, very short. It's good to look at. It's exactly what it says. Another plus for that it shares with Blast is that, it's a fall tournament written by Harvard. And furthermore, it also has Harvard in the name, which adds prestige, it adds brand equity, which I think is very cool. And so these are my top three, my three in the S tier. So first in the A tier is the Scotty. So you might be thinking, oh, Scotty, it's kind of a lame name. Well, I mean, it's kind of goofy, but I think it still works. It doesn't try to do that much. It's named after the mascot of Glasgow High School, which is in turn named after the Scottish heritage of the town, which I think is cool. And also one of my favorite parts is how it has the in the name, which I think adds a layer of regality, which I personally find very cool. And then second in A tier is Callisto. Callisto, it's a very cool name, rolls off the tongue very well. It has a lot of pluses going for it. It's exactly what it says. It's a California spring tournament. The name references how it features writers from both NorCal and SoCal, which is pretty cool. The one minus, which is a pretty big minus for Callisto, is that it's a very forced acronym, and it's also kind of long, and it misspells the name Callisto in the process of adhering to this acronym, which I think is kind of silly. Also, I forgot to mention for the Scotty, my major minus for that is that the name doesn't really have that much relation to Quiz Bowl. So as we get down, there are going to be less positives and more negatives for each one. But for right now, I think these are all very solid set names, with S being the best and A still being solid. Now, as we go into B, we roll into sets that have more problems, starting with Weight. So Weight, the Wyzetta Academic Invitational Tournament, I think is what it stands for. Yeah. So it has the Academic Invitational Tournament ending. Very cool in my book. It's also exactly what it says. It's this tournament written by Wyzetta. And the main negatives with this are that wait is not a cool word. It is a word that means to stop. It does not have much momentum behind it, which I don't think is very cool. Also, it was written in the fall, and they missed out on the name being Waft, and I thought that would have been pretty funny. Fart jokes are always appreciated. So anyway, second in the B tier is BHSAT, or BHSAT, and I think that confusion resulting is it BHSAT, is it BHSAT, is already a major flaw with the name. It's way too many syllables and doesn't roll off the tongue that well. However, I think that what mainly saved this are the academic tournament ending, which we've established is a major plus, and also the bulldog mascot, and I think referencing the mascot is very cool. However, it doesn't capitalize on the brand equity that Harvard Fall is able to bring by using Harvard. It doesn't have a Yale anywhere in the name. If they were able to incorporate Yale into the name, that'd be much cooler in my book. So third in the B tier is James Blair Bowl. So James Blair Bowl has the bowl ending, which we've established is, pretty good. James Blair was the founder of William and Mary, who were the ones who wrote this set. The main negative is that it's kind of long, it's kind of hard to type out. No one really uses the abbreviation JBB, so it's always James Blair Bowl. And also, I think that the emphasis is a little bit weird, because at least when I say it and other people say it, it's James Blair Bowl with the emphasis on Blair. However, usually it feels like the emphasis should be on James. Like it should be like a high, low, low, like, you know, like Prison Bowl or Scholastic Bowl, stuff like that. And I think that really rules F well. But either way, James Blair Bowl is solid. So now we move into C tier, starting with RAFT, which stands for Regular Academic Fall Tournament. And it has the tournament ending, which is a plus. It also has the difficulty in the name, which is a little weird, but, you know, that's fine. However, the name is really vague, and it doesn't really say anything about the writing team or, you know, anything like that. And also, raft is a weak word. Like, it's just like a piece of wood, like, floating out on the ocean. It's not very fun, like blast is, or prison, you know? Like, these are very, like, they have a lot of momentum behind them. They've got a lot of chutzpah. So second in the C tier is Stash. Similar situation to Raft in that it's a pretty lame name, or pretty lame word. However, it does have the benefit of having the team in the name, and also the time at which it would be played. Stash stands for Spring TJ Academic Scholastic Housewrite, and you may be thinking, oh, there's TJ in there. What the hell? Yeah, that was my thought too. Like, where did the J go? Like, Jefferson didn't go anywhere. This isn't the Spring Thomas Academic, whatever. Like, you just, like, kind of, like, push down the J. Like, come on, man. Kind of force the acronym too much. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. And as I said before, Stash isn't really a very fun word. So anyway, entering the F tier. These are bad names. Starting off with Logic. So Logic stands for Lots of Good, Interesting Content, which is like, it doesn't say anything about the team, and it also doesn't even say that it's a Quiz Bowl set in the first place, which is so stupid. It's also a dumb reference to the 2018 set Facts and Logic, like the Ben Shapiro meme. And I don't know, maybe this isn't as bad as I'm thinking, but like, I was a part of the set, and like saying it out loud makes me ashamed. Like, oh man, I really wish I didn't write for this, just because of the name. It's a very forced acronym too, which is always negative. Like, if it's too forced, like Blast comes off well, Callisto pulls it off pretty well, even with like the sort of, you know, emphasizing some letters, not emphasizing others. Like, Callisto is a cool enough name to where the forcing kind of balances is kind of like evened out. Logic, it's just not a cool name, and yeah, you get my point. Tapir is the next one on here. It's slightly better than Logic because it at least has Teterboro in the name, which is the name of Nicholas Zhang, who wrote it. That's the main plus for this. It also says that it is a Quiz Bowl set, which is good. Teterboro Academic Packets of Intellectual Rigor, which is, you know, a forced acronym, so it's got to go to F. It's also like, the name is a dumb reference to past Nicholas Zhang sets, like Crocodile, and I don't even remember what the other ones are, but they're all named after animals. And I just think it's kind of silly to keep that trend going for like an actual set. But anyway, regardless of like set content, it's fine. Let's see. So next is Butterscotch. You might notice that it's capitalized, and like, oh, what does it stand for? It doesn't stand for anything. It's capitalized in like the announcement. So it's like trying to be an acronym, but not without any of the creativity that comes like underneath it, which is like even worse than a forced acronym. It's a reference to Scotty. It's like a novice edit of the Scotty, but it's like, well, first of all, like, you're taking all the bad part of Scotty, which is that it doesn't have any relationship to Quiz Bowl, and taking like the cool part of the name, like the word the, and also like the relationship to like the mascot. Like, here it's just like Butterscotch, but without the CH, which is like, you know, stupid. That's not a good name for a set. And last on the list is the PSACA set 3 Rivers. So like, I don't think I even have to say anything here. Like, this doesn't have any relation to Quiz Bowl at all. I don't know what it's referencing. I googled Three Rivers, and the first thing that came up was a place in Michigan, not even in Pennsylvania. So I don't know what's going on, man. 3 Rivers, it's just not like a good name. Man, such a low note to end up on. But anyway, Blast, best set name of the year. All the other ones up here, solid. All the ones down here, pretty shit. See you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe.